For me personally, I was more impressed by the Celtics. The Clippers didn't do anything that surprised me. I mean, it was an overtime game. It was absolutely spectacular. I watched it from start to finish after I did my show, and I absolutely loved it. And then listen, here's what you saw, okay? Kawhi Leonard, 7 of 20 from the field, 17 points. We know he's better than that. Paul George, 25 points on 8 of 18 shooting. We know he's even better than that. Lou Williams was spectacular. I mean, every time I see Lou Williams, Max, I think about the fact that I can't help this. He's only getting paid $8 million. Yeah. In today's
and he had
NBA
27
economy,
points, the most on the team.
In today's NBA economy, he's getting paid $8 million. But let me tell you why.
He's the new Jamal Crawford.
That's right.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why I was so impressed with the Celtics. There's no Al Horford anymore. There's not even an Aaron Baines anymore, okay? You got Daniel Theus along with, of course, you got Marcus Smart and Kemba and all of these guys. Some dude named Brad Wanamaker is on it. I mean, it sounds like I don't even know what the hell it sounds like. Okay, but the bottom line is
there was a football coach.
These are individuals. When you hear those names, you don't think basketball necessarily when you hear about a guy named Wanamaker. But the bottom line is he's on the team and he's not a bad player. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this: Jayson Tatum. The way he played, dropped 30 last night, hit 5 of 10 3-pointers, was flat out balling. You look at him, Jaylen Brown didn't have
How about the heart, though, of Jayson Tatum?
Well, again, it's not, that's all of them. All of them have that heart. And what I'm saying is that I'm looking at a Boston Celtics squad that is undersized. I'm looking at a Boston Celtics squad that I don't think will have enough to get out of the East, not with a Milwaukee and a Philadelphia in there. But to see them play the way that they played last night, they got some ballers, and they got some ballers with heart. And Jayson Tatum is ascending, okay, is ascending. Now, Max Kellerman, the reason why I bring this up is because I'll get on you about this again. You repeatedly brought up the absence of Kyrie Irving. I repeatedly bring up Gordon Hayward being in that starting lineup.
Right.
And Jayson Tatum being compromised last year. I don't blame that on Kyrie as much as I blamed it on Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge. And I spoke to Danny Ainge about it. We respectfully disagree, but that's all it is. The point that I'm making is that Jaylen Brown, and especially Jayson Tatum, you got 3 guys on the Celtics averaging better than 19 points. Last night, Jayson Tatum showed out. And to me, if you see that more consistently this year, what Jalen Rose said to start the season, Boston being the best perimeter shooting team in the Eastern Conference.
Not last night.
And then, and for that being a threat. Last night, with 2 of their big 3 struggling, Jayson Tatum showing out, still got an overtime.
What I love about this show, we got tape.
That you sit next to me?
Well, Molly, that goes without saying. But we got tape. I told you before the season started I liked the Celtics do better than people thought this year. And the reason I pointed Kyrie being gone, what it meant for the development of Jayson Tatum. Tatum could be the primary scoring option on a championship caliber team. He's a special player. We saw that, but that's not who was most impressive last night. The team that was most impressive last night was the team that won. That's the team that's most impressive. When they trot out the 5, really, I'm including Lou Williams in crunch time, with Harrell, with obviously Kawhi and PG-13, and Patrick Beverley. When those 5 guys are on the floor, and they'll be on the floor to close games, Stephen A., good luck. They don't even know what they're doing yet. And they won that game in overtime. How did they win the game in overtime? Anyone remember the final play?
Kemba missed the shot?
He didn't miss the shot. Kawhi got his hands on the ball.
Yeah.
Kawhi recovered from an area he had no business getting all the way to Kemba.
That's the one I'm talking about. Kemba missed that.
No, I'm talking about
that's
Kawhi.
That's Kawhi.
He didn't miss it.
Kawhi.
Kawhi came from, Kemba's not thinking Kawhi's going to rotate to him in time to block that shot. In crunch time, they got the man. The man in crunch time in the NBA is Kawhi Leonard, which is why it's Kawhi's world. Stephen A., Paul George, if you haven't noticed, he was an MVP candidate before he got hurt last year. He's scoring about 100 points per minute he's been playing. It's unbelievable, the scoring. Doc Rivers, they have a championship coach, right? And Patrick Beverley. Stephen A. and I were arguing about this earlier, this morning, off camera. Patrick Beverley, you're like, when he's hitting shots, boy, there are a whole lot of, right? Patrick Beverley hits shots. Patrick Beverley, for his career, hits almost 38% from three.
Yeah, but you're misrepresenting my position about my little brother right there. I know we go back a long ways. He's only shooting 23% from three-point range
this year. Small sample.
So that's what I was talking about.
Okay, I'm saying, like, what can you really expect from Patrick Beverley? You can expect 37, 38% of his threes to fall and a doggone defense. This Clippers team just beat a Celtics team that know each other, that like each other, that's playing well, and they first time all season they've had their full squad together. It's going to be a problem.
Well, it's going to be a problem, and here's why. Because their five to close out games is Kawhi, Paul George, Lou Williams, Patrick Beverley, and Montrezl Harrell. So you're talking about 4 elite defenders. You're talking about a guy in Lou Williams that made 2 key defensive plays against Kemba Walker last night. So he's showing up on the defensive end. And offensively, the 3 of them together, good Lord have mercy. Everybody needs help right now. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.